When you get Donald Trump, you get 6 presidents, literally. You tell me Tulsi can't be president? 100%. 100%. You get J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance was, I mean, one of the best debates maybe we've all seen in as long as we can remember, right? J.D. Vance, a star was born. So, like, has ice running through his veins, but, like, has the charisma of, like, a wonderful person. So he's fantastic. You got Vivek Ramaswamy, one of our most gifted speakers and communicators. You have Elon Musk, who I already just said. You have Tulsi, who is insanely passionate. The amount of integrity that she has, like, you don't see it, but, like, we'll do an event and she'll be concerned that we go away and nothing happens afterwards. Like, she's worried that what we're doing is affecting them in a positive way, in the way that we intend it and what we're saying. Like, the amount of integrity that she has is so phenomenal. So, look, we have
You forgot one of our friends.
Yes, I did. I did.
Bobby's his name.
Thank you, Bobby. Yes, my most passionate. I knew I do that. Right? I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which Maha, if I'm being honest, Maha is the one that's closest to me. Look, I don't know how to the policy. But to make America healthy again, yeah. Like, if anyone follows me, you know that I really, really care. And the thought that his, did you guys hear what he said the other night at Tucker's last tour event? He said he's been praying for 30 minutes every day for the last 20 years that he would be given an opportunity to make a difference. And he said, God sent me Donald Trump.
Wow.
Day Today says blame Biden's ego for Trump's win. And another paper says Biden's old enough to know better. Trump's win is on him. But if they keep blaming the ghost of Joe Biden, they're never going to learn from their mistakes. Yeah. They're the ones that covered up for Biden's brain and egged him on into being so radical. That's what cost him the election. And the day after the election, we still don't know who Kamala is. A Democrat source tells Primetime Kamala's biggest problem is her lack of political identity. She's so scared to offend everybody that she won't give any answers. But Democrats absolutely see her running again. She's young. They predict she pulls a Nixon and runs for governor of California. Wow. Are the Democrat kingmakers going to gift her California after she gave Trump a second term? Sources tell Primetime that there's rumors Obama was annoyed with Hillary for backing Kamala so early. It forced his hand. The Clintons and the Obamas put their legacies on the line, and it blew up in their face. Now Democrats want to coup the coup leaders. Quote, the team that's there, it's time for them to retire. We need a whole different strategy. The day of Obama and his geniuses are over. They've been left behind. They're out of touch with the American people. The Democratic Party is out of touch.
Out of touch.
The Democrat kingmakers came close to pulling off a political heist, but they didn't finish the job. Obama, Schumer, Pelosi haven't publicly accepted any responsibility for kamikazing their own party. But we spotted Nancy having a very intense chat with Donna Brazile at Kamala's little concession speech. We're calling a lip reader to find out what they said. So they tear their whole party down to the studs. Who's going to rebuild it? The same power brokers that botched this? And how much longer does Nancy have? Doesn't Paulie P get lonely at the Vineyard? And how did Clooney get away of this unscathed? We remember what you did.
Oh, yeah.
Now, whoever it is, someone's got to run the machine. You know the Democrats. They don't let people make the call. Tulsi Gabbard's a Trump transition team member. All right, before we get to the Democrats' drama, you as a member of the transition team, did you guys have any transition meetings, and how was last night?
Yeah, we've been in meetings all day today. Last night, really, what gave me so much hope was the American people's voice came through in spite of all that has been thrown at us, the propaganda, the lawfare, 2 assassination attempts, The American people's voices were heard. There's a mandate. What's interesting to me, Jesse, is that we've seen yet again how little the Democrats care about the American people and our voices. You've just laid it out. They are so far out of touch. They are not paying attention to why it is the American people chose President Trump to be our 47th president. And they care so little for our democracy that even leading up to the election, and of course they will continue to do this up until Inauguration Day, they are literally trying to, quote unquote, Trump-proof the presidency and the administration. We got to pay attention to this because, as you said, Kamala Harris will likely run again. And whatever they tell us in the future about how they are the defenders of democracy, like they said almost every day on this campaign, they don't care about democracy. And they're trying to limit the powers of the presidency for President Trump to be able to carry out his promises to the American people, the reasons why people voted for him.
What do you mean by that? They're Trump-proofing the presidency, Tulsi. What does that mean?
Well, we've seen this already. President Biden was talking with his friends there in the EU to try to, for example, lock in obligations for our taxpayer dollars to be used to continue to fund this proxy regime change war against Russia via Ukraine, so that when President Trump takes office, he will not have the opportunity to be able to make that decision for himself, because as he has promised, within 24 hours of being sworn in, he is committed to ending that war. That's one of many examples. There are Democrats in the House and Senate who have been working to try to limit the powers of the presidency, to take away the responsibilities that our Constitution puts in the president's hands, once again, to try to Trump-proof the presidency and disrespect and completely reject the voices of the American people and our right to decide who we want to be president and commander-in-chief.
All right, well,
Someone for Democrat presidential candidate, now to Trump camp, and a transition team member, Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Actually, Tulsi, this is incredible. Your transition from one end of the spectrum to the other. What along that route made you flip?
That's a big question, but it's a question that a lot of Americans can relate to who've walked a similar path, where, the Democrat Party that I joined over 20 years ago, that was once the big tent open party that welcomed people with all different views and backgrounds, that celebrated and defended free speech. It was the party of the working people fighting for men and women across this country, a party that defended civil rights and civil liberties. Now, when you look at today's Democrat Party, it stands for the exact opposite in just about every one of those areas. And today's Republican Party, under the leadership of President Trump, has also changed very much, to the point where it is now, as we've seen in this election, the big open tent party that's welcomed me and Bobby Kennedy and Elon Musk and so many Americans who either are Democrats or who have left the Democrat Party, looking for a home in a party that is now the party of the people, the party of common sense, the party of secure borders, the party of peace. President Trump is the first Republican president in my life who's really demonstrated through his first term in office and what he is continuing to promise to the American people, to be that president who has the strength and courage to stand up and fight for peace, to end wars, not start them.
It's interesting, Congresswoman. The first question is that everyone talks and about you changing parties and stuff. Actually, as I was sort of sitting here listening to you talk, and I've covered you for 15 years when you were here in Washington, I don't know that you have changed. I think what has happened is that the party changed, because I'm going through my mind to think whether I have a list of, Tulsi Gabbard said something one year and said something another year. I don't, and I could Google a little bit but I'm not so sure you've changed.
Yeah, Greta, you're right. The nuances of different policies and challenges, sure. How we tackle the health care, the sick care crisis we face in this country. I think we should always look towards how do we find the best solutions for these. But when you look at the biggest and most important principles and fundamentals, no, they have not changed. I have not changed. I've always been an independent-minded person who puts the interests of the American people and our country first. And that is rooted really in what is most fundamentally different between Kamala Harris and President Trump. And those are the principles of freedom. our God-given rights and freedoms enshrined in the Constitution. And no matter how many times Kamala Harris claims to be the person who is a defender of freedom, the reality is that she has a proven record over these last 4 years of being an administration that actively is trying to censor our free speech, that is weaponizing our government institutions in acts of political retaliation against people like myself, like Donald Trump, like Matt Taibbi and others, simply for exercising our right to free speech. This is why I believe so strongly, and this is the message we've been carrying across the country as I've been campaigning, urging voters to support Donald Trump, is that this election is not about Democrats or Republicans or left versus right or simple disagreements on how to solve some of the challenges we face. It goes much deeper than that, in that, very simply, a Kamala Harris presidency would be a presidency of tyranny, more poverty and hardship, and war, and more war, whereas President Trump's candidacy and his record is about freedom and peace and prosperity.
Yeah. Do you want more government, less government? I think that's what it comes down to. Tulsi Gabbard, pleasure to have you on.
But speaking of a first female president, I can honestly see this lady being first female president. I'm just saying, what do y'all think of that? Tulsi Gabbard. She would get my vote for president. I'm just saying. You know, and that's one reason why a lot of people, you know, resonated with the Republicans and against these Democrats, man. You know, this whole that's why people resonated with this Trump campaign, because it's a team, man. You know, we got a combo meal deal. You know, we got buy one get four free. Buy one get four free. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But she would definitely get my vote, man. If you talking about a female president, man. And again, it's a disgrace how they ran that campaign and how they tried to belittle us, mock us, shame us. You know, how they sent people out there. Big Mike, Barry, he out there sweating. They done pissed everybody off, man. You're not gonna vote for her because she's a woman? Huh? People on this left wing media, I mean, this didn't lost it. Misogyny, sexism, you know, just ridiculous, man. But again, all I can say is, what did you expect? What did you expect, man? But I expect, you know, some big things with this Trump administration, and you know, I see some great things going to take place, y'all, and we will hold them accountable. Well, that's one thing we're going to do. We're going to hold them accountable. You know, we held Biden accountable. He didn't squeeze all the toothpaste out and then dropped his Coca-Cola on the floor and his ice cream cone on, you know, all melting all out in the sun. Yeah. So we're gonna definitely keep them accountable, man, and make sure it's going on. But I want to check out this video too. But Tulsi Gabbard would definitely. How y'all feel about Tulsi Gabbard? Comment down below, man. She would definitely get my vote for president. Yes, indeed.
We've accepted a narrative that despite an actually great economic recovery, the vibes don't feel good. So we want to reject it and get something else. What will the future hold now that America has just decided that we're going to F around and find out?
I don't even know what that means, but the left is blaming everyone, everything, trying to find something to blame for Kamala's loss, and they still haven't realized that they're just totally out of touch with the concerns of everyday Americans.
Yeah.
Somebody who was going to be voting for Kamala Harris came up to me and said, "Oh my God, Trump's going to win." I go, "Why is that?" He goes, I went to the grocery store. Butter's over $3. I kind of laughed.
The 7.
What's that?
The $7.
What's that? Butter is $7?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
What? Is it framed in gold?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. Did he not realize that gas had gone up? I realized that gas.
Everything going up. Everything. I'm telling y'all, man. Ridiculous.
Goes up like several times a week. Joining me now, Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat, co-chair of Trump's transition team. Okay, Tulsi, maybe that was like a joke. I can't really tell, but it does kind of bring to bear what's really at stake in politics in general. Do you really get what bothers the American people and have a solution to fix it? But they still think this is largely a communications problem with the American people. Your response to the head scratching on the other side?
Yeah, Laura, you know that clip you played from MSNBC first really kind of said it all. Is they continue to think that they are awesome. They did a great job. Look at this huge economic recovery. Why don't the American people know this or appreciate this? They are so out of touch with the hardships and the reality that the American people have been living through over these last 4 years.
Yep.
They sit in their ivory tower eating their cake and look down on the people who are struggling and suffering, saying, well, gosh, I don't know what's wrong. The reality is that President Trump went out and traveled across the country. He listens, he sees people, and he recognizes the challenges they face and tells them that he will work for them. He's got a 4-year track record of doing that during his first administration. So they believe him when he says, I'm going to bring down the cost of living. They believe him when he says, I am committed to preventing World War III. Kamala Harris, I don't think she ever once mentioned nuclear war, not during her 4 years as vice president, not during this campaign. President Trump, almost everywhere he went, talked about the seriousness of the threat of nuclear war and that we are closer to the brink than ever before because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and that he'll do all that he can to prevent nuclear war. These are the kinds of things that drove people from across party lines, from across the demographics to say, yes, my vote is with Donald Trump.
You know, I think a lot of folks in the Democrat Party weren't as much concerned about making America economically strong again, or certainly not making America great again, but they were very worried about making Ukraine great and safe again, and this is some of the reaction.
One of our closest Democratic allies, Ukraine, now depends on a man who has criticized Ukraine, has attacked the support we have given Ukraine.
I'm heartbroken for the people of Ukraine because I am terrified about what is going to happen in a Trump administration.
A Ukrainian soldier in the trenches, as their ally just abandoned them, is wondering what I'm going to do next.
Tulsi, has Donald Trump abandoned the people of Ukraine, or will he?
Donald Trump is standing with the American people, Laura. I was with people in Western North Carolina, in and around the communities surrounding Asheville, the day before Election Day. And you know what I heard from them? They're coming home from funerals of their loved ones. They are telling me, hey, we still have over 500 people who have not been found in the wake of Hurricane Helene, and it's been over a month. Why aren't those talking heads talking about the American people who need a president who has their back? President Trump has their back, and this is why he's earned their trust and their confidence.
Tulsi, and I know you're not going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. Can we see you, or will we see you perhaps in the administration?
That's a question only President Trump can answer. And congratulations to Susie Wiles. She is fantastic. I've so enjoyed working with her. She is a straight shooter, and I'm looking forward to seeing her as chief of staff.
Well, her source was quoted as saying, the clown show is basically not going to have access to the Oval Office. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but the words clown show was used. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, you know, she works very well with President Trump. I think she is of great credit to winning this campaign and being able to make sure that the train didn't go off the rails. And so, you know, I think she's going to do a fantastic job as White House chief of staff. President Trump seeks counsel from those that he wants to, but Susie Wiles will provide great leadership on his behalf in running that place.
Tulsi, always great to see you.
Great, man. Yeah, we just did a video on Susie. I'm telling y'all, we filling in the cabinet now. Again, I expect Tulsi, y'all can comment down below your predictions, but you know, it's gonna be big, man. We got Vivek, RFK, man. I'm telling you, we got some good household names, man, and I believe they're gonna do this thing right. And that you know, we're in for a rude of awakening, you know, in a good way though, in a very good way, man. But more breaking news. We're gonna continue to break history, man. You know. But let me know what y'all think of all this, man. Tulsi Gabbard, y'all, played a huge part in the victory, you know. And we rocking out, y'all. We rocking out, and we're gonna do this thing right, man. But prayers for Trump, their campaign, their administration, his family, because again, we don't know what to expect next. I'll just be honest with y'all, especially now, and they like I said, they've gotten really friendly, and once again, inside jobs is trending, and another attempt, and just all kind of stuff is trending right now. And again, they're acting completely different. We don't see the crazy rhetoric they were spewing just a couple days ago. Hitler, dictator, Project 2025, all this crap, man. But I see a lot of people in the comments on this one saying, if we ever get a female president, Tulsi should honestly be the first in line. What do y'all think of that, man? Comment down below. I love y'all, and I will catch you beautiful people in the next one. Peace and love, y'all.